I'm Nathan Judo. I'm here with Wolves reporter Tim Spiers. Tim, after 85 minutes watching that, I didn't think it could get any worse. It did.
Yeah, well, it was inevitable, wasn't it?
Oh, dear.
In fact, I had quite a few fans tweet me say in the last 10 minutes saying just waiting for you to type Wigan goal. And there it was. Yeah, Wolves were made to pay for a very poor performance.
I mean, that's 4 defeats in 5 now in the league. Where's it going wrong? What's happening? Because coming to the game today, I just was so confident of a win, and they just didn't even show. They didn't show much that they were even going to, get 3 points today, let alone a point.
No, I mean we suggested this on Saturday that Helder Costa's the only one that can really unlock a defence, and there was certainly an element of that tonight. I mean, the defence isn't a problem for me. I think they've sorted the defence out.
Yeah.
Kind of Burton was a bad example, but they cut out the errors. Other than that, pretty much this calendar year. So it's going forward. It's from midfield. It's lack of tempo.
So many stray passes as well tonight.
So many stray passes, and a team that doesn't quite really know each other yet going forward. There's a few changes again tonight, and a few kind of missed matches in there. I think Lambert still doesn't know his best 11 yet. And like I said, Costa aside, there was Ronan did well tonight, but there wasn't really anybody who thought is going to create something absolutely out of nothing here.
Is it a confidence thing? Do you think? Is it going from the strikers, and the strikers aren't scoring, so it goes to the midfielders, and then the pressure's on them because the crowd are good. The crowd aren't on the backs, so there's something that's going wrong.
Well, it was very, very, very flat tonight, which we knew it would be. 17,000 crowd, very quiet, and Lambert spoke to him about this on Monday and said it's going to be up to the players to lift the crowd and lift the team and get everything going, but they just didn't, which is really surprising because I thought the changes he made were good. I thought he freshened up the team. Great to see Ronan start in.
It was a good starting lineup, right? We were both quite happy with it when we saw it.
Yeah, and Bright did really well as well in the 10. I thought the fullbacks were poor tonight. There was no one overlapping from there. I thought the midfield two were poor. Lee Evans wasn't at his best tonight. I mean, you saw when Ronan replaced him in central midfield, he really added that kind of that drive, bursting forward from midfield.
Sure.
Which he could at that stage because they were going for it. There was no need to sit back at all. So there's just not much going right really, and Costa's kind of gone off the boil, and the opposition know to target him and to double or triple up on him. And there's not going to be much else coming from that final third. Bright is going to be one hell of a player, and he took on players for fun at times, and he started to look like the player I've seen at under 23 level, and tear teams apart at that level, and he's starting to get that back in his game, but the end product's not there yet. We had that one in the first half when he was at the left of the 6-yard box, and he should have squared it for 2 or 3 teammates, and he went for goal from a tight angle and missed.
Yeah. So
the end product isn't there yet, but you start to, at one point in the second half he had 4 players around him and we still kept the ball and won a throw in. But there's just not enough of that coming from the attack. It was just kind of him on his own, really, Bright tonight.
Are you worried though now? Because we're going to have done the double over us, and 6 points 6 points away from the drop. Okay, it's still unlikely. However, they are in a relegation battle.
Yeah, they are. There's no getting around that. I don't think they'll go down.
No, I don't. But they've got to be careful.
Yeah, they've got too much. But yeah, you don't want to be getting to late March and early April, 6 or 7 points off relegation, because then it's very precarious.
Yeah.
For now, I think they're okay. I don't think they'll go down. I think you saw tonight they're a far better team than Wigan are. Despite the fact that Wigan have beaten them, I would say Wolves would win more games than Wigan for the rest of the season. I don't.
Yeah, but that's so they should be, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. But what I'm trying to say is that they won't get relegated because they'll win enough games to stay up, in my opinion. But they need to do it sooner rather than later.
But what's gone wrong? Because I felt like we were in all buzzing, Paul Lambert, and you turn them around, and then all of a sudden it's changed very, very quickly.
Yeah, there's
only so much you can do before the players have got to do the business on the pitch, though, don't they?
It coincided with the Liverpool game. They got through that Barnsley game straight after that, but there's been a lot of chopping and changing in the team, which I don't think helps. I think he needs to find his best 11 and settle on it. I think we've seen a couple of strange team selections. Like I said, he's sorted out his defence now, but now he needs to sort out a kind of a coherent attack where you've got 2 or 3 or 4 players that can win you a game. There aren't enough match winners in that team. Ronan and Bright may well be those players, but whether they're ready now for a sustained run of games, you don't know. I'd like to see more of them, certainly. I think they've got a lot to offer. I think they really miss Cavallero on the left, because with Costa, you see, he gets doubled up on. There was no overlap from Ben Marshall really tonight, who I thought had a pretty poor debut, to be honest. He's clearly not fit. So there's no extra outlet then, because you want someone bombing on beyond Costa, and I thought Doherty didn't have his best game at left back either. So they were very flat. They were far too passive, with and without the ball. Didn't think they didn't do enough to win the ball back quickly enough either. So it was a bit of a mess.
Roman says he's back. What's the situation with him? A lot of people clamouring for him to start tonight. He wasn't even on the bench.
Yeah, not fancied. I'm not sure what he would have done tonight. He's a deep line midfielder. You wouldn't exactly call him, an urgent presence. There's a place for Sace, but I didn't necessarily think it was tonight.
Dicko, Vyman.
So
Cody.
Vyman rested. Cody rested.
Should they be getting rested in these games? Is this more important than Saturday?
I wouldn't necessarily say he's necessarily looking at it like that. He's looking at it as in they can't play 3 games in a week, and when you've got one of the biggest squads in the league, why not use it? So he knows them better than anyone. I think it's a lot to, someone like Dave Edwards can play week after week after week, but Connor Cody maybe not. You've got the option of Marshall, build up his fitness in what looked like should be an easy home win. So it would have been happy if they'd have won 3-0. It'd been happy days to have Marshall at right back, whether he'd played well or not. But as for Dicko, a slight hamstring strain. He said if he'd played him tonight, he could have risked, aggravating it and being out for a while. So he's not risked him. Hopefully he'll be fine for Saturday.
And Matt Williamson on the bench tonight, that was good news.
Yeah, good to see. Wouldn't be surprised to see him in the cup game on Saturday. Really interested to see what team he picks. He's changed it a lot for the cup.
Do you think he will change his mind after seeing some of them tonight?
Maybe. It's the likes of Courtney Hawes and George Saville that have played in the cup that would be brought in anyway. Yeah. I think if Dicko's fit, he'll play. I think if Vyman's okay, he'll start as well.
Cody.
And we might see Williamson and Hawes as a back two.
Okay. And do you think it's a good respite? Out of the league, do you think they need to have a bit of a break and just look forward to something else?
Yeah, because he doesn't have to motivate them. They're not going to need lifting, are they? Yes, they'll be a bit down tomorrow, but come Thursday, Friday, they will be looking forward to what for some of them is the biggest game of their careers. So they won't need lifting or motivating. There are no points on offer. Wolves are expected to be beaten, as they were against Stoke and Chelsea. So, Molineux's first full house for 3 years, maybe the biggest crowd here for 36 years. So, night game on the telly, fantastic occasion. Just hope Chelsea don't score an early goal. But it's the best game to have. Yeah. You can see it as it being maybe a distraction, but after tonight, I think it's the best game that they could wish to have.
And they need to get up for it. They need to go forward with Blues and Huddersfield coming up as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But you make a point. No one's done himself any favours tonight. No. Apart from Ronan and Bright, no one in that team could say, and Akimi because there's nothing to do. Yeah. No one in that team could say, play. I've done enough tonight to play on. To play on Saturday.
Well, arguably, probably Conor Ronan, and he's probably not going to play.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the defence had nothing to do. Wigan were powder puff. They have offered nothing until their late goal. But like I said, Costa was poor. Evans and Edwards were poor. Bodvarsson didn't offer anything either. I thought he had a poor game. So everything was just very flat. Really, really disappointing night because for me, this was just as important as a Chelsea game. Because if they're not careful, they will get sucked into a relegation battle.
Bit of a shock here at Molineux tonight. Wolves 0, Wigan 1 for all the post-match reaction. Make sure you log on to expressandstar.com.